Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of the creditrepairshop.com. And in today's video, we're going to talk about the Santander multi-state settlement agreement. I'm also going to talk about a summons trick that debt collectors are using for summons. I don't know if I mentioned it in my previous video earlier in the week, but I want to make sure that I talk about that. Um, so let's get right into it. I'm also going to answer some questions here about Santander that's on the YouTube channel. Um, but I want to start first. I was coming in to work and I listened to XM radio some of the time. Some of the time I listen to my recordings of different motivational speakers. And Joe on the Joe Madison show, some of you maybe heard of him or maybe not on the Urban View channel. He had replays on the day, and I think that I heard that replay for a reason. I heard it for myself, and I heard it for everyone here that watches my YouTube channel. Uh, Dr. King was in the Birmingham jail. He was taking heat from certain people in the black community. He was taking heat from uh, white religious leaders, pastors, and Jewish rabbis. They were criticizing him. And he wrote this letter. And the gentleman that was talking about the letter, he said that the letter from the Birmingham jail was not significant at that time. Dr. King wrote that letter. They did some edits, they released it, but it was not a significant letter at that time. But if you think about anything that's going on now in the world, this letter has been used across the world to get people to understand something. And but I'm going to talk about the pressure that the black community was given. The pressure was how long? People were saying, we're marching, we're doing this, we're laying down, where it's nonviolent. How long until we get, results? And he said basically the way that he overcame that was to tell people either you continue fighting, or he would give speeches to keep encouraging them. He would use the Bible to keep encouraging them by telling them stories of the Bible of how people had to, basically continue fighting to get what they wanted. And this is what I go through on a daily basis, and I can tell you that this is probably one of the toughest parts of the business, because and it's not because of the people, because I understand when a person is not of the same mindset that I am, where I've experienced that that I have that internal experience of wanting something and allowing the process to work. And then I understand the process, because sometimes you can get something and you don't understand the process that it took you to get it, and you think that it was instant when it wasn't instant. There was a series of little steps that took place to get there. Everything in your life that you have, everything that I have in my life, there was a series of steps, a process to get there. But what happens with the human mind is, number one, when we learn a process, we forget the steps of the process a lot of the times. Just like getting on a bicycle, do you remember all of the different processes that you had to go through to learn how to ride a bicycle or to learn how to drive a car? Do you remember all of those processes? And you probably, or you can think about them now, but you don't really think about how hard those were when you had to go through it. We have uh, that human, that great human computer, that brain of ours that allows us to move on, but that brain can also work against us, especially in this type of world that we live in, is that we think that things happen instantly when they really don't. And when we see other people with success and we see things happen for other people, we think of only that success, which you should. You should focus on the end result, but you should understand that there's a process to get to that result. Don't get lost in the process, get lost in the end result, but understand that the process has to go through its phase, and that everyone's process is going to take a little bit different. And that process, the reason why it takes different, it's different for each of us in different, um, to materialize, is because of our belief in ourself, our own internal belief on allowing good things to happen to us, for that we don't fall back into that old habit of, oh, here it goes again. Like when you see a football team and they're always losing and they're ahead, and then all of a sudden the other team starts coming back, and you see that the team or the fans, everybody get that feeling like, oh, here we go again. And you know I'm going through that stuff with the Dallas Cowboys right now. So I wanted to just get that to you. And if you want to get more history on that, I'm pretty sure here on YouTube they have channels where they talk about that Birmingham uh, letter that Dr. King wrote while he was in had gotten arrested. Okay, so now let's move on. Santander, there it seems to be a lot of action coming along right now, and I want to talk about a specific email that I had gotten yesterday. This is just talking about mindset, talking about putting it out there and letting the universe just materialize it for you. Let it give it to you. Let it not let yourself not allow yourself to quit. Let me tell you about a story that not a story. This is real. Let me tell you about what happened with a client yesterday. She texted me on Wednesday. She texted me on Wednesday. Yeah, it was part of the last Santander video too. Remember, I gave you the instructions. I said, do this, do this, do this. And I made those instructions because a young lady had texted me. She texted me on Tuesday, and I got back with her on Wednesday. And I made that video for everyone on Wednesday. Because what it was what was the next steps that you need to take if Santander is just not responding? You're not getting the result that you want. And I gave her some steps, and I put that in my video. You need to look at, if you need to look for that video, with Santander multi states settlement update. You have to fight to get what you want. Look for that video. Look for that video on my channel. Subscribe to my channel too. Subscribe to my channel and look for that video. But I gave her those instructions. But let me tell you how the universe works. Let me tell you how the universe works. And I'm so excited for this young lady. And I'm also so excited for the comments that were posted about the good things that are happening for other people regarding this Santander multi-state settlement. She texted me, what is the next step? She said she hadn't heard anything. What is the next steps that could happen? And I gave her that list that I gave in that video. And she said, okay. And I actually emailed it to her and I sent it to her. She said, okay. You know when someone tells you okay with an open mind and okay with not an open mind. There's two types of okays. Me and my wife were talking about this last night before we went to bed, and we talked about this about with our youngest daughter, that she will ask questions, and she don't ask questions so you can uh, feel uh, like to relate to her with it. She just wants you to listen to her about it. And so there's two types of ways that people ask questions. And I was telling my wife, well, a young lady asked a question, and I had the feeling that she was asking the question with an open mind, not a closed mind. And every one of you, I don't care, you know what I'm talking about with this, unless you just are fully self-centered about yourself and can't understand other people's feelings. But if someone has ever told you you don't understand their feelings, then now you know what I'm talking about because you responded to them in a fashion in a fashion of I don't I have a closed mind about uh my with a closed minded response, with a negative response, with a quitter's response. So I sent her the I told her what to do, and then I had also made a video because I know if someone's reaching out about it, other people have to be thinking about it. So I made that video with the next steps to do. But let me tell you what happened yesterday. She sent me a text and she said, let me just read it. Sent me a text yesterday and she said, I received this email. I'm so happy. And then she put those little hands up. I don't know how y'all do that. I've, I haven't mastered the emoji game. And then she said, let's see how it goes. So I looked at it and she took a screenshot. She had received an email from the attorney that we have, uh, uh, the attorney firm that we work with for the Santander demand letter. And it was asking specifically that they needed to get a release form so they could speak to the attorney about her Santander case. And I was like, this is how the universe works for people. This is how the universe works for people. Let me tell you, Reverend Ike talks about this. Tony Robbins talks about this. Marshall Silver talks about this. All of the great motivational speakers, self-help uh, improvement speakers, they talk about this. And I'm getting this even more internalized is that when you believe that when you know you got something, you are going to get it. When you believe you got something, you're going to get it. And part of that is to get through that process. Like when I was just speaking a little bit earlier about how some people can see someone and it looks like they got it instantly or they got it faster than you. And I believe, and this is what they say too, is that they got it. Now, let me clarify what that means. If you want something to happen, say you want to get your car paid off for Santander, and you put in your mind, not where you go in it with this two-minded option uh, thought pattern. And when I say two-minded, that means that negative, it won't happen because nothing good happens to you. And then a positive, that I wish and hope that this works out for me. You have to go into it 100% on the side that this will happen for me. And then you put aside the negative part that no good things happen to you, and you replace that with there's going to be processes. And then on the side of the good thing happening to you, you extend that with I know what I want as an ultimate goal, but there could be solutions to that problem that gets me close to that goal. Because everybody's solution to what happens with Santander is not going to be the same. We know what the ultimate is, which is to get the car and the title, but everyone's solution is not the same. So now that brings me over to what solutions have came. Miss Carolyn Dillard, now that everything's sealed, signed, delivered, they can't go back, everything is done. She put her comment on here. And she said, basically, please listen to Stephen. I was able to get my title and paid 1,500. It ended up being 1,500, and they said I owe $13,000, even after paying them for almost 6 years. That's a lot of people report that. And there was a couple that I was on phone with the other day that had been paying for like 4 or 5 years, and they still owe $31,000. None of the money is going to pay off the car. So she put that on there, and she said, "Don't give up." And I, with Carolyn, we went back and forth. We sent letters. She got on that phone and she just had it in her mind and it materialized. She has her card, she has her title, she paid $1,500. It is over with, which is that is the that result was different than not having to pay anything, but she got that result, and thank you for placing that on there. Another person put on here, what about the late payment removals from your credit report? I want to refinance with another company, but Santander will not remove the late on your. Yeah, they're not going to. Well, wait, hold on a second. Uh, you, they probably said that they won't do it, but you could submit and you should include a copy of the settlement that they had with the attorney generals to have the credit reporting agencies remove that. I just uh I read this was one because there's some funny stuff going on right now, even with the bureaus post. I mean, not the bureaus, the creditors posting information to the credit reporting agencies. There seems to be a slowdown in that process. I don't know how, because that's not something that's done manually, but I think that there's still something that's slowing down the process if they're not always updating. Because there was one that we got here uh, from a debt collector for a medical bill for a client that they said that they're no longer that they're not coming after this person for the debt, but they had put a statement in there saying that consumer reporting agencies may take up to 30 days or longer to update consumer reports, and this is beyond our control. So there's some funny things going on, even with uh, furnishers uploading their Metro 2 reports to the credit reporting agencies. And then there's some funny stuff coming back on how fast credit reporting agencies are even doing investigations and doing updates, and even posting that you're even disputing information on the credit report. Here's one here. Uh, Here's one here. Well, where this is just another question here. Um, I'm so nervous. I'm a widow, disabled, but I've moved so many times. But I will start tracking my information. Oh, this is someone that just had wanted to make a statement. Oh, okay, and then they can't hire a lawyer. My daughter was in high school when they reported twice. Third time I couldn't contract something with okay. So this is a Santander question. She has been can't afford a lawyer, disabled, trying to deal with the attorney general, has called him 3 times, and so watch that video. This is what you got to do. It's going to be a fight regardless. Even if the attorney general it does something and says we're going to make a call for you, still going to be a fight because the power is in the hands of Santander. So watch that video. I gave you the instructions on what you can do without hiring an attorney. There's someone that said they submitted their complaint to Texas Attorney General and they haven't heard any response. Watch the video. I told you what to do in the video. That video is Santander multi-state update. You have to fight to get what you want. You have to fight to get what you want. Yeah, you have to fight to get what you want. Um, to get the results you want. Um, Texas was not included in the 34th state, but we have people from Texas that have got relief. Your relief is probably going to look more like what Carolyn experienced, which is some type of settlement on your loan. Let's see here. let's see here. So someone said that they received a 60% offer on what they owe. So that goes into what I was saying. 60% off. Uh, what you could do is you could even keep haggling and fighting. Once you get them talking about settlements, you can keep pushing harder on that. Here's someone here told by three different representatives that they were included in the multi-state settlement but never received a postcard. What this is what I tell you to do, and this is what I tell anyone to do if you believe that you maybe have thrown away the postcard, is that you should call Santander and ask for your number. Let me get what that is real quick. Uh, there's a number. So go to Santander. I'm sorry. Call Santander and ask them, or Rusk, and you can go to the website Santander Multi-State Settlement Agreement.com, and tell them that you lost your card. You need your web registration code so you can continue filling out your card. Just tell them that so you can get that. That's what you're going to need to fill that in on the website to get the settlement using a postcard. Someone said, "Are we still doing a demand letter?" We are still doing a demand letter. Those links are below this video. This is someone here. They got the postcard saying that they're part of the settlement, but it was months ago. Again, just give them a call and let them know that you misplaced your card and you need to get that web, what is it called? Web registration code, that you need to get that code. Call Santander, also call I'm sorry, Rust Consulting, and their information is on the Santander Multi-State Settlement.com website. Let's see. Received a letter from Attorney General. Let me know I was included. They needed my deposit account info. Not sure about that one. You need to make sure about that. You need to make sure about that. I noticed. I have noticed for repo. Okay, so you got a notice for the repo. You don't want to lose your car. You need to watch that. Do the steps in the video. I see that you already watched the video. Do the steps. I have not received anything. My auto loan was 5 years ago. You need to do what I said in the video. If you've already lost the car, if you lost the car, then you're submitting a demand letter to get the information removed off your credit report and to forgive the debt. Here's someone here. I got a settlement letter to settle for $3,000. I'm not sure because they already damaged my credit and cut that down to $1,500 because I'm currently unemployed. Do that. And, if you got a $3,000 offer, tell them you're unemployed. Try for the $1,500. I need to know who to call to get more information, please. Here we go. I'm going to put that on here. If you haven't, if you haven't already, call Santander, ask to speak to someone in their executive team about the settlement. They are running up on time too, December 31st. Can I, July or August, I did a voluntary surrender. Take it anymore because they couldn't take it anymore. I am probably calling you, but yeah, they might be. You should answer their calls. Answer their calls because they might be offering relief. And if they're not offering relief, you know what you're going through. And then what you should do then is you should submit a demand letter to have that balance forgiven. They told me I was already included. Come on, well then you need to just make sure that you got relief. If they said that you're already included, then you're in two categories. If you had a car, then you need to be make sure you get that postcard put in, or that you keep looking in on your account that they pay off your car and get the title to you. If you are included and you lost your car and you just have the debt from the car, then they're supposed to remove all the negative information off your credit reports and forgive that debt, that auto debt deficiency balance. And that doesn't matter if they sold it to a debt collector; it's still supposed to be forgiven. Uh, Person said, "Is it too late to file if is it too late to file that they scammed you?" No, it's not too late to file, but I want to clarify what filing is. Uh, you're sending a if you had a car. Okay, it looks like you lost the car. So yeah, you're gonna want to do a demand letter to get the debt, the deficiency balance forgiven, and all of the negative information taken off your credit reports. Yeah, okay. For the statute of limitations, I talked to my tech. You do need to fill out to become a free member. So yes, become a free member to get access. Okay, yeah. Uh, when I didn't really remember this, but I put that information about the statute of limitations on my blog in a membership section, but it's a free membership. And all you have to do is fill out the information. If you go to my website and you're searching any of the ones that say you have to be a member, all you have to do is just become a free member, and then you can get that. Let me put this in here for her so she can get that because she wants to get that information. So I'll get that to you, and it has where you can become a free member, 100% free, 100% free. So I'll put that on there. Let's see here. Do merchants have insurance on your credit? Yes, credit insurance. And also car dealers, especially the ones with subprime. And you've been offered this before if you've ever bought a car. They would say, well, if you can't make your payments, you want to get this insurance. You can make your payments if you lose your job for 3 to 6 months, so you don't fall behind. And uh, there was another young lady that it was it Carolyn? I'm not sure if it was Carolyn, but had sent me some information on where I think it was that she had did some research on some other lenders, and they were showing where they were actually paid. Credit card companies were actually paid either a portion or all of their money by using and it's kind of like a hedge, some type of insurance hedge on their accounts. And there's always products for companies that when they want to put a hedge, they'll pay a certain fee. And if any accounts go bad, they can get paid on those accounts. Yeah, it's the finance game is huge. Finance game is huge. All right, so I'm going to end it here. If you have any, oh wait, before I stop, let me talk about that summons gimmick. One of my clients got a summons. He purchased the Pro Se defense package. We put that together. That link is below here if you need to get something like that done for you. It has please watch the video though. It can only be used for certain cases. But he didn't feel comfortable and he wanted to go into a settlement. And we looked at settling the account, but they couldn't come together on the amount. But something happened when I asked the debt collection representative. I said, okay, well, since we can't come to an agreement, when will the court date happen? And he said there's not going to be a court. There's no court date scheduled. And so this was basically used as a scare tactic for uh, this gentleman. It was used as a scare tactic, and I should have caught this. I should have caught it. I should have caught it the way that it was put together. What they're doing, what they're debt collectors are they're they're smart. They know the game and they know how to use certain tactics to get people to do things. So what they did on this one, had it served at his home, that kind of put a little bit of anxiety to him. But I mean, he was strong-willed. He said, "I'll give him a call." They offered on a $1,400 balance. They offered 1,000. He felt that it shouldn't, it should be lower. We offered, consulted with him. He wanted to offer 625, and so we made that offer. Couldn't come together on it. We know, you and I know from the debt that's sold on the market, they bought this for pennies on the dollar. Uh, so what they did to try to ramp it up more is that they did a court summons, but the this is not really a court summons that would stand even with the 30-day response because there's no court date. There's no one. Well, you do have a response that you have to do, but it was I knew I should have known that there was some problems with this. I should have known. And probably you want to know what made me know that there were some problems with this? Because I was asking him, I said, "Where is you're forgetting a piece of the summons when he sent it to me. You're forgetting something. Something's missing." He was like, "This is all they gave me." And I was like, "This is all they gave you, okay?" So it has the attorney's information on there, but it does not have the judge's information. It has the county, the the court, and it says that it was electronically filed with a case number, and it gave a date and it gave a time. So what they're doing now is they're taking advantage of the system where they input a summons, proposed summons, but they have to pay the fee to move that into court, into one of the judge's courts, and then it becomes an official summons. This here is not official. But check this out. This is what we're going to do. This I told them you go to the courthouse and you submit this, and they're going to probably tell you that this is not filed and that this isn't going to work. But I still told him also to submit the response because now they were trying to get it ahead of the game. He's going to submit ahead of the game with his defense, and in that defense is going to have a request of full debt validation. And we already know that LVNV Funding LLC, which is a company that we've won a whole bunch of times against in court, and where they just said we're not even going to go to court, we just dismiss it. We already know what's the deal with that there. So I just want to let you know, be aware. There may not be a real summons. So a real summons is going to have the court and the judge and the plaintiff attorney's information on there. All right. If you need help with your credit, go to the creditrepairshop.com website. Watch the video, What Makes Us Different. And I'm also putting together a series of videos where it's going to be like a consultation with me. and it's going to tell you exactly what we do and what we require for anyone to become a customer with us. Like I'm drilling down hard on this now that we will, there's customers that sign up on their own and we send them back. We say we cannot take you as a customer. Uh, I'm really aligning my company with the right people that really are getting aligned with the right mindset to go through this journey of credit repair. If you need your credit reports and scores, please go to the website your the number 3scores.com. Links are right here. That's one way I support the channel. And you need to know what's on your credit reports. Come on. If you need my cease and desist letter for a debt collection that's coming after you past statute of limitations, link to that is below, and the debt validation letter if you're getting a demand for a debt from a third party debt collector, you can use that debt validation letter. All right, we'll end the video here. This is Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of the creditrepairshop.com. Thank you, and until next